Okay, I just watched American Ninja 5, and there's a lot of interesting background to this one, to why I think it's in the bottom 100, but overall, kind of enjoyed it. I'm kind of a sucker for a bad ninja movie, and this was a bad ninja movie. Where to start? So the star of this movie is known primarily for being a karate master and doing the American Ninja movies, 3 through 5. That's pretty much always done. There's also a pretty horrible child actor, which usually bothers me more than it does in this one for some reason. I don't know why he wasn't bothering me as much. Yeah, so basically this winds up being kind of a cop and a half, but for ninjas. The kid sort of tags along with this ragtag adventure. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is the American Ninja franchise up to this point was all rated R. And they were pretty serious ninja movies, as I understand. I haven't seen them. This is a PG-13 action comedy with a child. So the tone has changed significantly. Also, this was not supposed to be an American Ninja movie. That was decided after the fact by producers, I assume, because their lead actor was also in the American Ninja movies, and they thought they could sell it better that way. It was originally called American Dragons, and actually aired under that title on cable. That makes a lot more sense, given, the different rating, different character names. This really confused fans of the franchise because it really doesn't follow any kind of continuity with the previous movies. And the tone, obviously, is different, the violence is different, and there's an annoying little kid. Having not seen the other movies, I don't really care. This was a super hammy ninja movie. I mean, you get everything you want out of a ninja movie. There's sort of bad shuriken effects, like, every kind of, ninja trope. They're actually multicolored ninja. You get the whole ninja rainbow. One point he's fighting blue ninjas. One point he's fighting purple ninjas. One point he's fighting... Well, the main guy is a red ninja who dresses like the master from Manos, the Hands of Fate, which looks hilarious, and he wears this gigantic gold medallion around his neck, which actually has plot significance. Go figure. Just for no reason at all. The amount of coincidence going on to make this plot and to tie all these characters together doesn't make any sense. And there's no reason they should all be there together. It's just total coincidence. The other, of course, there's all these different colored ninjas, and they're being led by the Super Manos, the Hands of Fate ninja, who also has Wolverine claws. I don't know what those are actually called. They are working for some sort of South American dictator who is trying to get a super chemical bomb by blackmailing a scientist into making it, which leads him to kidnap his daughter, who is trying to date American Ninja Man, who, when she is kidnapped, he follows her and basically sneaks onto the plane, taking her to Nicaragua or wherever they go. It gets really, like... Just trying to make these connections, trying to explain this in a short amount of time, is impossible. Basically, a bunch of plot lines come together that don't make sense, that shouldn't come together in any way. Like, this Manos, the Hands of Fate Ninja Lord, apparently murdered the annoying kid's father when he was young, but he doesn't remember that until he is confronted with him, and apparently the child was trained as a ninja since before he could walk. Someone explained that to me, how you train a baby to be a ninja. No. So yeah, there are a few B bad guys. Like, the main guy really is sort of this ninja mercenary, Manos the Hands of Fate guy. There's also a bald dude who works directly for some other guy. Basically, he's like a C-list Michael Caine is the other kind of bad guy who's just... He reminds me of Michael Caine's character in On Deadly Ground. He's a very posh, Britishish businessman sort of guy. Then there's also the actual general or dictator guy who wants the bomb. There's a lot of characters in this, which is a huge problem. Because you can't keep them all straight, and it gets really annoying. There's also a lot of explosions, as, you'd want that. There's actually a half-okay car chase early on. There's actually, the stunts in this, compared to other crap I've been watching recently, like Three Ninjas and, like, Super Babies, it's actually stunt work. Which actually, the director of this has not done much directing, but he has been a stunt pro forever. I was reading on his IMDb page, he actually did the stunts for Space Jam. Ha! Okay, sure. But not just Space Jam, lots of stuff. This is a directorial like I would assume passion project by a stunt worker, and you can tell because the stunts are not bad. This is through and through a cheesy ninja movie. It is PG-13, so there's not like over the top violence, unfortunately. But I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed watching this. It does slow down a bit. The climax, the structure of the story doesn't quite work. There is not like a crescendo to a climax. There's like a bunch of constant things happening, then it slows down, and then more stuff happens. But really, if you're just into sort of ninja stunts, and you're not looking for something deep here, there's enough like funny moments in this that it's worth watching. I would actually recommend. It's like $2 on Amazon Instant, and that's how I watched it, and it was great. I enjoyed it. The other thing I will note that I haven't been noting in a lot of these movies, one reason some movies are absolutely loathed is because of product placement, and this one is very guilty of that. Just as like Leonard Part 6, I don't think I mentioned that, is really bad about Coke product placement, and there's a bunch of other movies I've done that I haven't really mentioned it, like Mac and Me and McDonald's. I'll get to that one. This one has, I'm not sure if you remember this, this goes back to old school gaming a little bit. The Sega Game Gear. It was the Sega's answer to the Game Boy. I had one when I was a kid, and it was a brick. It was a brick that took 6 AA batteries and burned through them in no time. It really was a monstrous creation.
Introducing Game Gear from Sega, the full-color portable video game system that separates the men from the boys. Game Gear from Sega.
It is not only in this movie constantly, the child has it on him at all times. It is featured, like you see the logo. He hands it to multiple characters to play with. It zooms in on the thing. At one point, he tries to use it in the plot to figure out where the American embassy is. It's constant. It is constantly in this thing, and it just dates this movie so horribly. And it was such a bad gaming device. I think I still might have mine somewhere, but it really was. That would have been dead before he got out of the United States on that plane, unless he was playing with it plugged into a wall, or had a massive stock load of AA batteries hidden on his person somewhere. Anyway, I got a kick out of this movie. If you ignore the rest of the American Ninja movies like I did, and just watch it, it's just a goofy, don't take it seriously. There's some half-decent stunt work. The child might be a little annoying. Little bit, and also there's a bunch of backstory they reference that we know absolutely nothing about. Yeah, so that's all you really need to know about this one. There's also sort of a cameo by what's his name? The old guy from Karate Kid. I'm blanking on his name. He's barely in the movie, even though he's on the poster for it. They were clearly trying to use him as a marketing tool. Anyway, this movie was not well received, but I thought it was okay as far as goofy ninja movies go. It's probably not the best you can find out there. There are plenty of really grindhousey ninja movies, that are out there that you can check out. I gotta mention this. Ninjas can teleport sometimes in this. They have little smoke bombs, and that's supposed to be a distraction so they can, like, jump away or something. In this, when they throw a smoke bomb, they can just straight up teleport unless they can't. Unless the plot says they can't teleport, in which they can't. Like, the super badass Manos the Hands of Fate ninja does that throughout the movie. But when he actually has to get the hell out of somewhere, when he's kidnapping the girl, can't do it. Just walks slowly away, and they try to catch him. The other time is they're trying to escape out of a building, and instead of doing their teleporting smoke bomb, they wind up rappelling down ropes. I don't understand. One, that's not how ninjas work. They don't actually have supernatural powers where they can disappear and reappear. Yeah, that's one of the big goofy things. There are a few other things, but, it was bad. I recommend it. I recommend it highly. There's a lot of bad attempts at humor. It's kind of perverted at moments. The main character's kind of a dickbag, I think, for a lot of the movie, which is notable. But him being kind of a dick to the annoying kid is almost like a breath of fresh air compared to a lot of movies. Anyway, that's American Ninja 5. I actually recommend checking this one out if you're in the mood for a PG-13 ninja movie with a kid in it.
battle between good and evil. The magic power of the ninja is about to reveal itself. David Bradley returns as the next generation of ninja warrior.
Who's the boy? It's my grandnephew. It's your last ninja.
Is about to discover the mystic art of his ancestors.
Think back, hero.
Teach me ninjutsu.
Now, a reluctant teacher
You will obey me without question.
will lead an impatient student on an adventure halfway round the world. The enemy waits. But a dynamic new fighter will learn the secret of his past
Hero, as great a warrior as your father was, he too underestimated the poison of the rifle.
and face the threat to his future.
Who are you, boy?
Killed my father.
Life is not a game.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
David Bradley is the American Ninja, with Pat Morita, the Karate Kid, and introducing junior black belt champion Lee Reyes. American Ninja 5, the game begins.